What's up, YouTube?
We got some J Beeps. Where are we going?
We are going game hunting, not on a Saturday. We're going to... Where are we going? We're going pawn shops, thrift stores.
That record exchange place that people
Zia Records.
People have been raving about in the game hunting. They always get like complete in box games for like $20. So
which is ridiculous.
Like often too. It's not like once in a blue moon. It's quite often. So I'm gonna see if it's
So are people trading in stuff there? Is it like Bookman's?
I think it's comparable to Bookman's, but the one time I went 3 years ago, the prices were retarded and like ridiculously overpriced, even worse than Bookman's. So
wow.
We'll I guess we'll just kind of see for ourselves, and then we'll hit up some pawn shops, which we haven't done for years, and probably be grossly disappointed.
Yeah.
And thrift stores. So we'll go check it out because we talk about it a lot. This is the shittiest time of the year for game hunting. I'd say immediately after New Year's, that first month just sucks. People don't care about money. People aren't getting rid of stuff. The weather's too cold. It'll pick up again in a month, but February and late January, we just have to kind of survive, if you will.
As I was gonna say, we're just trying to survive right now. So wish us luck.
And wish myself luck. You know what it reminded me of before we get into commentary? Dude, where's my car? You know how the Zoltan people wear the like bubble wrap? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember. Dude, where's my car?
Sure, you've seen that movie. The aliens wear bubble wrap like to protect themselves, or the people that think they're aliens. That's what this chair reminds me of. Like
because it's the noise.
Bubble wrap.
Yeah.
So here we are at Goodwill. We saw our favorite 3 GameCube games in the store right there. In fact, only 3 GameCube games.
Are we doing commentary now?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, this is all because you said before we're doing the comment. Anyway,
the red stuff means we're recording.
Oh, okay.
But I just meant before we got into the actual relevant commentary, I had to say something.
So this right here, I was actually pretty excited for Spider-Man, because that is a $20 plus game, I believe, still.
Yep.
Even at GameStop, used.
It's hidden away.
Yeah.
It's underneath those UFC games. UFC games exploded for like 1 year.
Yeah.
I remember back in like 2009, they released the first one and it sold really well. We talked about this GoldenEye.
We did.
Me and you must watch it. Like,
we need to watch it.
You simply can't not watch it. It's the only one that doesn't really fit here because it's only newer and it's Pierce Brosnan and all the other ones are older.
I was gonna say that's not really in order, is it? Those are just kind of.
I wonder if it's just a random pack, but GoldenEye is the GOAT James Bond movie, without a doubt.
GOAT N64 game too. This I wanted to open up just to have you guys get the code out of it, but there's nothing in it at all, which is really weird. You think the people that are taking in these games would open up these cases and check to see if the disc is inside before they try to sell it.
They told me people steal them. I find that
hard
difficult to believe, but I think they literally just half-heartedly take boxes of stuff and put it on the shelves without really looking at it.
I would not doubt that for a second.
Because I don't know why someone would steal that PC game without the code or anything. It's just kind of a pointless wreck. It's funny, at the entrance to the store, they have those pictures of the shoplifters. Have you seen that?
Do they really?
Yeah. Right as you walk into the store, there's like
Who would
pictures.
shoplift from Goodwill? There's nothing there.
I say that a lot too. Even if you gave me everything for free in the store, there's very few things I would have walked out with. Specifically in the media sections where I guess a lot of the thefts happen, people just open up and take disc out.
Those are some desperate people.
I guess so.
Here's Indiana Jones. We had mentioned that in a prior episode that was one of the worst Lego games. Did you see all those fucking books on the floor, by the way?
I did, yeah.
That was so random. And then what did you say about...
This was a light gun game on the PS2, and you can see it's old because it's the blue at the bottom. I almost bought it. The condition has scared me, and I've left it on shelves for like months. It's been there since like November, as you can see right there, but it just sat there on shelves, and I guess maybe at like a 50% day I'll buy it when it's $2, but it's not going to get sold. You need that light gun.
Exactly. That's the main reason I wasn't jumping up and down for you to buy it. Those light guns are not as easy to find as the Guitar Hero drums or guitar or anything like that. I guess
you can't give away.
The drums you don't really see very often. I actually haven't seen a Guitar Hero guitar in a while either, actually.
A red ringed 360.
Probably.
Even if it's not red ringed, I think they wanted 35 or something, and it's the OG model. In your opinion, is there anything desirable about that original model that people would want?
No.
Kind of like how the fat PS2 is like more desirable than the slim one.
No, the original 360s are literally heaps of trash with a auto malfunctioning chip in it that melts itself.
Was that part of the plan?
That was the red
marketing
ring.
plan?
I'm guessing. I mean,
And of course, lost the game.
Lost the game.
You just lost the game right now watching this video. I'm not sure. I actually would be interested in playing that. Lost was one of those cultural defining television shows of like 2005.
I haven't seen it. I have not seen it.
It was it probably wouldn't hold up today. Some of the visual effects were just horrendous in it, but the story, the acting, and then it was kind of X-Files-ish. They had questions constantly, like
Didn't
what's in the
J.J.
hatch?
Abrams
Yes.
direct that? That's what I thought.
And Damien Lindelof and quite a few famous people were in it, and yeah, the acting, the stories and stuff's great. Speaking of not great, this Salvation Army, what went wrong? You remember back in the golden days?
Oh my god, I look back fondly on this place and just absolutely never want to go back in here again, especially after this trip. I used to have a manager that I kind of became friends with, and he had my phone number, and he'd call me up whenever new systems came in, new video games, and he'd let me know what it was, and then we'd come pick it up. I mean, through that contact, we got our Lynx consoles. I got my TurboGrafx with the expansion.
Wow.
I got Sega Saturn, and I think an NES lot as well.
Didn't he physically go into some warehouse somewhere?
Yeah, he physically, I guess, went to the actual Salvation Army warehouse and chose video games out for us. So that's pretty crazy.
By the time we each got a Link system after
Oh,
a
man.
shitty day of yard selling was absolutely one of my best memories game hunting ever.
I should do a gameplay with one of those things sometime. I still have my links.
And this is one of my worst memories of game hunting ever.
Oh, yeah.
$25 game in the pile. Actually, we
Yeah.
were surprised to see it. It's a
And then-
Square Onyx game, and then Final Fantasy 8. Or is that 8 or is that 12?
I think
It's one of the PS2 ones, so it's
Yeah.
like 12. But what a disappointment. It's kind of a desirable game, Shadow Hearts Covenant, and
I hadn't even heard of it.
this is
so
the
many
ultimate.
RPGs.
It's one of those PS2 ones that kind of slipped through the cracks, but still has a fan base. This is the ultimate sign of game hunting going from awesome to shit. I think was the collapse of the pawn shops.
Yeah, it was.
You go back,
Oh my
it's
God.
it's almost unbelievable. It literally is unbelievable in today's day and age to go back and watch our pawn shop hunting from 2012.
It's literally unbelievable, because remember that one day? Oh my god, I'm picturing it again. It was such a great day. I had a trash bag full of NES games. Not only once, I went back again. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick up some more games.
Right.
And I bought another like huge stack of games for just dirt
I think it
cheap.
was a quarter a piece or
The
something.
first time I went, it was like a nickel a piece.
Wow.
The second time I went, I think it was about a quarter a piece.
But I remember the first time we went, I got Melee for $2, complete in box.
Oh yeah,
That
you got a
same
bunch
time,
of crazy
we
stuff.
got a bunch of RPGs on PS2, a bunch of valuable RPGs on the PlayStation 2. Were just sitting there on the counter. They weren't even out in shelves. And more importantly, back in the day, they actually had GameCube games.
They did.
With
There-
these places.
Were there a
Dozens of
single GameCube
games.
game here?
I don't think so.
There wasn't, no.
GameCube games have just disappeared. In fact, good quality titles for the most part have disappeared on store shelves. And it's a theme I've seen a lot, especially today, because I actually went out game hunting with you today, which was it was Monday.
Yeah.
Looking to spend some money on some quality titles
Me
for
too.
the game room, but
Yeah.
there were no quality titles. That was kind of the issue we ran into over
There
and
was
over
nothing.
again.
There was this right here, which you were going to pick up, which is a fantastic game. Destroy All Humans. I will
Yep.
100% do a gameplay of that pretty soon. That game is just, oh my god, it's so much fun.
I had it in my hands. I think we were here about 15 minutes. Some idiot girl came in and was trying to haggle and debate
I don't know what she was trying to do.
with
I
the
don't.
people about money.
The people were really useless though, because there was an N64 game I really wanted to look at. I don't know if that's in the video, but I really wanted to see what was underneath the Madden N64 game to see what the gray cart
Right.
was, because you never know.
We'll never know.
But we'll never know because
Because I'm not going back here.
I don't want to
But
wait.
yeah, that girl, like, pawn shops, don't come in and don't haggle with the guys about. They have a very specific recipe, how they do business. They give you, whatever. For pawning, they'll give you like 75% of what your item's worth.
Yeah.
For straight selling it, they'll give you like 60% of what your item's worth, and that's very formal. It's not
Yeah.
like the show Pawn Stars where you can come in and like debate with some 19-year-old cashier about what he gives you cash wise. So don't debate. That's kind of the reason we got stuck for a while. Was that woman sitting there arguing and she's like, "You guys lost a customer. I'm sure they don't care at all.
No, they don't. They don't care at all. Man, the music, I just want to also...
They won't be able to hear it,
Mention-
but it was
It was
atrocious.
horrendous. Like, I feel like music these days is making people stupider. I think it can lower IQ.
I guess it's figured out a way how to.
It found a way.
We listened to some awful music when we were middle schoolers too. Edgy is the term that I use every time.
Edgy.
Every time a middle school
But this
song
was
comes
just
up.
like uncreative, bad rap music.
No, it wasn't.
I'd never listened to that.
And this is probably my favorite thing in the whole store. And there's the N64
There's
game
the
you
N64
mentioned,
games, yeah.
Underneath Tony Hawk, and underneath the game underneath Tony Hawk is a third game. We'll never get to know what it was.
I was so close to just shaking the display case, hoping to
Just kind of like a vending machine trying to knock it down. Junk DS games, a bunch of controllers, and then a really cool Game Boy Advance. I guess Atomic Pink would be the term.
Oh,
I don't know what color
yeah.
to call it. It was only
I know what you're
$19 as a collector's piece. That actually would have been a pretty good buy to buy for $19.
But we didn't want to wait another half an hour.
No, I didn't even buy Destroy All Humans for $2 because the guy literally was 30 minutes before they even looked at us.
Oh, and then they had bundles back here for like the PS2. That was $30 over there.
That was a great buy if you don't have a PS2. $30 for 10 plus games and a PlayStation
system,
2
yeah.
console. So here's the point of our whole trip: Zia Record Exchange. I don't want to call it ghastly, or grotesque.
It was macabre, utterly macabre.
Utterly macabre, I'll call it. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either.
God, the prices were just not good at all. A lot of them were either eBay or above. There was nothing that had that 20% eBay discount that I'd be willing to spend money on. Because I mean, we drove way the hell out of our way to go to this place.
This was way out of town. The biggest issue, again, we mentioned a second ago, is that there just wasn't titles that jumped off the shelves at me.
No.
There wasn't anything that exciting. There was $10 games, $12 games here or there. But it's not like there was like A-plus titles on retro systems.
The only really expensive RPG you'll see later in the video here, they had it locked up.
What was it?
God, I don't even remember the name of it. We'll see it in a little bit. But really just frustrating to see these kind of prices on games. When, I mean, I guess it's kind of like Bookman's. Like, this place is basically even worse than Book. Look at that game right there. Was like $26.99 for Zombie U. I could go down to Best Buy right now and pick that game up for $6.99.
Factory sealed.
Factory sealed. And
Right.
I found a lot of games like that where you could go pick it up factory sealed for cheaper. I'm not sure why. There we go. So there's Gravity Rush. That was, I think, $20 some odd, and you can get that game for free on PlayStation Plus. That's Luminous Symphony, Electronic Symphony. That was $16.99. You can go buy that right now, brand new, $9.99 on Amazon.
These stores are just kind of out of touch with reality a lot. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's rarely they're out of touch with reality in a good way for the buyer.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are. Sometimes we walk into Bookman's, like that other day comes to mind where they had Super Smash Bros. Melee for $29 or something.
Yeah, I mean, you'll occasionally get someone that doesn't know what they're doing. They price it too low. But most of the time you have people that think, oh, this is a retro video game. Oh, Smash Bros. This is a $90 game.
They price it too high. And the last thing I always mention, probably what's going on at Zia Records, why we always see complete in box games, is that these stores don't often understand there's a difference between loose cart and complete in box.
Yep.
So when they do their price charting, they see the loose cart game. Oh, it goes for $25.
But
well,
this
that's
place,
$25.
I don't know. I feel like this place did know the difference because all those complete in-box games were pretty damn expensive.
They had smart staff. It seemed like they were kind of intelligent for the staff members. Definitely.
They
better
all
than
seemed
Bookman's.
like edgy teenagers.
No, I wouldn't call them edgy. I would call them hipsters for sure, though. The
Yeah.
type of people that buy records. Oh gosh, remember the time we made fun of records on the channel and it backfired.
That was bad.
But these cases, especially for the Game Boy Advances, I really like these little plastic cases that had the manual and the game perfectly placed.
They're cool, and these games weren't horribly priced. It's just they were horrible games, and they were all like $1.99, $2.99. So
right.
And then there was this Japanese import game for $14.99, but I don't want to deal with I can't speak Japanese. I can't read Japanese. It'd be kind
Game
of
Boy Advance
useless for me.
games can play there's no like platforms, right? They can play across. You can play Japanese.
I don't
games.
think they're region locked. I think that started with the DS
I think so too.
Lite.
I remember I was in Japan.
I'm not sure.
I was in Japan I think it was 2003, maybe it was 2004, and Fire Red and Leaf Green had come out there way before they came out in the United States. So I actually bought that and played it.
That's awesome.
And I knew well enough. I had played Pokemon Blue 6 billion times in my life, so I knew well enough what was going on that I was able to played the Japanese game without.
How'd you know what the moves were though? That'd be kind of weird.
The top left one, that's water gun. Oh, the bottom right one, that's headbutt. So it's I just memorized the place, and the pictures. You could obviously see what Pokemon was what based on the pictures. So it really wasn't that hard. And I remember playing it, and I think I beat the Elite Four even in Japanese. I did the same thing with Pokemon Silver when I was in elementary school. I had that shipped to me from Japan because we know someone over there, and I played that, but that did not go well because I didn't play Pokemon Silver before, and I was like 11, so I don't know what the hell was going on.
I would love to visit Japan someday when I'm not completely poor.
It'd be a really fun game hunting.
That would be such a cool
Would
video.
be really fun. Yep.
We could videotape so many things. There's so many game shops. There's so many cool things there.
Play a game called Pachinko. It's just massive there. I still haven't figured out exactly what the hell.
I don't know what it is. You're just dropping metal balls and something happens and maybe you win.
Catch them and then you trade in the metal balls for like prizes.
I think you get money, maybe. I don't know.
The metal balls are essentially currency. You pay money for 100 metal balls or whatever. And then if you win a bunch, you can go trade those metal balls in for prizes or something. It's a form of gambling.
That's so weird.
But if I recall, there was still some method of like skill.
Huh.
Like you could be quote unquote good at Pachinko. It wasn't just random.
Oh, there's the Vagrant story.
Yeah, we've seen that one before. We've gotten it at yard sale, I think.
And then there's all the Intellivision Lives,
I never even saw that.
Atari Flashback. Those were about a little under retail, so I guess it's not too bad if it is actually complete and good condition.
How did I miss that Vagrant story? Or how did I miss that plastic place over there? I'm kind of sad.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. This is Savers.
This place fucking sucks so bad, bro. I promise you, I'm never going in here again my whole life.
Thank God.
No matter what.
That was awful.
No matter what.
Now, Retro Hungry supposedly found Earthbound in here.
Yeah, the Savers in California.
I feel like all the good games deals are in California because there's so many retro video game hunters in California.
I believe that Retro Liberty found Earthbound simply based on the fact that it was 2012.
Retro Hungry or Retro Liberty?
Retro Hungry. Retro Hungry,
yeah.
Who disappeared. So I guess Retro Liberty disappeared as well, kind of.
They're back now.
They had a video recently, but I haven't seen anything from them for a while.
That'd be cool.
But might be going out to see them now that the Rams have been graciously relegated to a new city, sadly. But
that'd be a cool video, game hunting with Retro Liberty.
I tried once. I went on a cruise and I hit them up, but they went out Friday morning and I arrived Friday night. So I was gonna game hunt with them Saturday morning, but they went out Friday morning, which I thought was, for us Tucsonans, that's ridiculous. But I guess in California, the swap meets are legitimately like 3 days a week. Like Friday morning they get
Actually,
popped up.
yeah, because I went to one of the swap meets. That's another video we caught flack on because it was like, oh, these prices are terrible, and I'm not gonna bring up past stuff that we got flack on, but
Oh, that's right. It was the San Diego. Well,
it was the San Diego
one.
one.
Some dealer there butthurt because it was like his booth or something.
Yeah, something
I don't
like
remember.
that.
I wasn't gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. Any of that.
But yeah, it's 3 days, and you actually pay to get in, which is a little bit weird.
A cover charge? How much did you pay to get in?
It's a cover charge. I think it was like $5. It wasn't that much. But there was really, I don't know. If you're really lucky, you can find stuff in there. But I didn't really get any good deals.
No. And back to the actual game hunting footage real quick. Always look through these little bags.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was 1 year ago, like this week, basically, I found Pokemon Silver in one of these little bags, just kind of hanging up on the wall. So keep an eye out. But this was just tragic.
It's like I said on Instagram, it's just panning for gold. Like you're just looking through all this dirt and crap, hoping to find something good. And you don't really know where it's going to be in the store because it's supposed to be in the toys and games area, but we've seen stuff in other parts of the store.
Of course.
And game hunters have always found like a bunch of Super Nintendo games in the appliance section. So you never know where it's going to be, so you have to check these hundreds of bags, which is really a terrible way to inventory stuff.
This place is really cool.
This place is cool.
Really fun.
Toys Inc. I don't know why my hand's up. Oh, because they used to have a video game area over there where you pay to play per minute, and then they moved it over here. It's like $5 for 20 minutes.
Looks like you're trying to use the force. It looks like you're trying to force choke something. Minifigs. If you want to talk about one thing that could be as popular as retro video game fad right now, it's Legos. Legos have just exploded and pretty much taken over the planet.
Do you remember when I feel like Legos have always taken over the planet, but now that Star Wars is back out, man, Lego Star Wars is awesome. White and I both have bought Lego sets for Lego Star Wars.
For a shit ton of money. I'll show you the one that I got actually.
Why is this the same?
And it brings me up to my next point that these stores still are just overpriced.
They are
I can't
overpriced.
figure it out. I can't figure out what they're doing.
I don't know how they stay open.
I don't need either. It's so fun to come in here and shop, but looking at these sets, they're dramatically cheaper on eBay and Amazon.
How do they get the inventory?
I don't know. Do people trade in these minifigures or do they buy them?
I don't know.
It's a really cool idea because I've never actually seen a store that sells minifigures. Of course, we've seen stores that sell Lego sets, but it's cool to walk in and actually see all these minifigures.
There was a black Millennium Falcon. I've never even seen that
sick,
before.
Actually. It might be a custom thing.
Pretty cool.
But jumping into this set, maybe. What games
Yeah,
do they have
$10 for 45 minutes.
But you'd have to pay me to play PS4 and Xbox One for 45 minutes. You have to pay me $10. This set, where the hell is it? That Millennium Falcon's sick, by the way. That's
sick.
the new. That's the new.
Millennium Falcon. Yeah. So that one's $150, which is the same as in stores. Most of the newer ones that are still in stores are the same price.
But not this.
So you spent
$300. I just bought this 2 weeks ago for $200 on Lego.com.
I don't understand
$300. Anytime you can buy these special editions, I don't know if you can see that, the bottom left, you can see that little special edition symbol thing. That little ribbon.
The collector series.
Anytime you can buy those at the store, buy them and just set them off to the side. Even if you do not like to put together Legos, save them because the value always just triples, quadruples.
That's crazy.
Explodes. The Millennium Falcon. Or no, it's a Super Star Destroyer that was out a few years ago for $200. Is now going for over $1,000.
It's like, several thousand.
So some people just literally bought and then sat on it.
This is the one I bought, actually. I didn't buy it like today, but I'd owned it already. There was no price tag on it. That's why I was looking through the box. I was trying to compare it to the in-store price. I'm sure it's probably the same.
These new ones, like you said, the new sets were comparable price-wise. It was the older, like retired quote-unquote sets that they were all over the place with. But
oh, I found a price tag. Yeah, same price.
Legos are just really cool. It's too bad. I always wish Halo didn't get that shitty Mega Bloks treatment. I wish it had gotten the Lego treatment because Mega Bloks, just something about them.
I feel like the reason that Mega Bloks has Call of Duty and Halo and Lego doesn't is because Lego doesn't want those M-rated brands with their kid-friendly brand.
Is that
they
why?
don't
I
want
never
to
thought about that.
I don't think they want to be involved with pushing an M-rated game
Is that
with
true?
their children.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything adult that Lego does? Or
I don't
is
think
it
so.
not? Is it
The
all kids
Simpsons,
stuff?
I think, is the most adult thing that Lego ever did.
Someone made. There was a really cool thing, and it was going for like $350. It was that Breaking Bad Lego set.
Oh,
someone had essentially custom made with, I guess, knockoff Legos, but it was really cool. It was their little where they made meth in the basement for Gus or whatever. It was that lab, and it was like a Lego set. It was the sickest thing.
That's cool.
Of all time.
That's so cool. I wonder how they did that.
I don't know, and I wondered the legality. Does Lego have a patent on pieces? Because they can, because Mega Bloks has them too as well. But jumping into the video game related toys, I bought a Halo 2 Master Chief back when Halo 2 came out. It was really cool.
Like a little action figure?
Yeah, a little action figure.
I've never been into action figures. It's like I'm a huge collector of a bunch of stupid crap. Like I used to have a knife collection. I had a rock collection when I was a kid. I feel like every kid has a rock collection when they're a kid.
A knife collection. Now that's what I call edgy.
I was a little kid. I don't know. I liked pocket knives. Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was something that was fun to collect.
I was
They were
to
cool
collect
looking.
Zippos.
Zippos are pretty
really
cool.
sick.
But those are really expensive.
They are. Some of them are worth thousands.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason you collect stuff is because
That's true.
it's actual valuable like hobby. Anything that's popular to collect usually is going to have a market, like a valuable market.
That's true.
So last but not least here at this toy store, just the Marvel superheroes. And just look at the colors, the vibrancy.
So cool.
It's
Now-
fun to see colorful stuff.
We haven't seen Legos at a yard sale in forever, if you think about it.
We haven't asked or looked. And I think
That's true.
Legos probably are literally the first thing to leave the yard sales. If you put a box of Super Nintendo games and a box of Legos next to each other, I'd be willing to bet that the Legos would move first.
That's true.
In fact, I'm smelling a challenge we should do one of these days to figure that out. We should just put a bunch of Legos together.
So, this is the store in the mall. I don't even know the name of it. I'm not going to advertise it because I don't like them.
It's failed to find its identity.
It doesn't make any sense to me how this place is still open. It's been open for I think at least 2 years now. I've seen maybe one or two
repairs?
people in here.
Phones?
I guess they repair phones. That's probably the only way they're staying open. They sell video games. I guess they take in trades.
What I haven't figured out what they're. I wish I could just look at their cells and try to figure out what they actually are masters in. What they do.
I don't know. They're the masters of overpriced video games. Is what they're doing. They're worse. They're worse than Bookman's. They're worse than Zia. They're not friendly. Like they'll sit in their little seat and then glance over to where you're pointing and then shout out the price they think it is. They don't acknowledge you when you walk in. Like, as much as people hate on GameStop, including myself, at least they greet you at the door. They acknowledge you exist most of the time. If they're doing their job right, they're supposed to.
Right.
Whereas this place, you walk in, they don't even glance at you. Like, I could just steal half the crap in here, walk out, and they wouldn't do anything because it'd require them to stand up.
Right. That Kratos is really sick, by the way.
It is really cool.
You mentioned it was probably a drug front.
I feel like it was a drug front just because it's been open for so long, and I haven't seen them sell anything. Those game console lockers that were supposed to be like a thing that caught on, which it never did. Those same things have been in there for when it opened. Basically, they've been there as long as I remember.
I'll one up you.
Same with those same Skylanders.
I'll one up you here. Not only have I never seen them sell anything, I've never seen another customer in here.
I haven't.
Every single time I've walked in the store, it's probably been 5 times in my life. I've been the only person in the store.
Actually, no, I have seen other customers. I saw 1 or 2 other people in here. They didn't buy anything. They looked at the prices and walked out, as they should, as everyone should. Here's my finger on the camera. I'm not sure why that happened, but it's gone now. N64 games at just stupid, awful prices. Knockout Kings, I remember I bought that for a quarter at Plane Trade.
Grossly underrated game. I'm just kidding. I liked it. That one time we played it, I thought it was kind of fun. The video's winding down here. Stay tuned. By the way, they wanted $55 for Melee if you guys were going to ask. Stay tuned right now. We're going to hop into testing out our yard sale Sega Master System from the other day. Hopefully one positive thing from this week. So stay tuned. So this just arrived in the mail from some backwards part of China. I don't even remember where. It's for the Sega. We're going to try out the Sega Master System today that we got at yard sales a month ago with Chinese technology. So we'll see what happens right now.
Now, I'm actually surprised that they came from China. People are still making those things?
I don't know. A bunch of subscribers commented that the Genesis power cable will work fine with it. Mm-hmm. By the time I received those comments, this thing had already been on the way, so...
Do you even have the Genesis?
Yeah, I should have one. I have a bunch of systems and cables and stuff up there. Should be a Genesis somewhere in the corner. But anyhow, we have this. It was only $4 or $5, and it's a power cable, so I don't think they can screw that up. But we might burst into a ball of flames here. Oh, look. Oh,
it's got an actual light on it. That's cool.
At least it looks cool. Let's see if it actually works.
I wish the NES had lights on it and stuff. Well, I guess the original one did, but the top loader doesn't.
And everyone's favorite auxiliary.
Oh, God.
Auxiliary cables. I don't know why this existed. There's switches and stuff, right?
That was before red, white, and yellow existed.
Red, white, and yellow is still the GOAT. HDMI's cool though.
Right. I don't know. I like using S-Video now. I try to avoid using the red, white, and yellow.
Okay, so this goes into the RF out.
Yeah.
90s kids, or kids today react to Game Boy, the new Fine Brothers video.
God, I don't like that.
90s kids react to just
people reacting to random stuff.
Stuff that came out before me or you were born, actually.
I remember seeing that video of people trying to figure out how to use a cassette player. I'm like, really, you can't figure that out?
Well, and the kids, I saw the video recently that triggered me a little bit where they played the Game Boy. And they couldn't figure out simple stuff. It's like you guys figure out fucking iPhones and stuff.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the? Is it the antenna?
Yeah, it's the antenna. You just screw it with it.
I thought it was called something else. Okay.
I can already hear YouTube yelling at us. How the hell do you not know it's the antenna?
Well, even on the NES, we had the red, white, and yellow.
That's true.
Besides the top loader, which had these, but I would always just play the regular one.
I play the top loader. So I can't get my regular one to work.
No, and yes, we can't get the TV to work.
God, everything is going wrong.
Oh, the TV's
I don't.
not plugged in.
Just to say it's not
Take
plugged
a
in.
quick pause.
All right, so we have the TV plugged in.
This
Moment
lit
of truth.
right up.
It's lit up.
So let's turn on the TV and see what we can do. This video, by the way, brought to you by Samsung, just like Chelsea Football Club. Let's turn that on.
There's that weird noise it has to make every time.
Yay!
Yeah!
All right, let's try one of these waterlogged games.
Welcome to the Sega Master System. I've never seen one of these even boot up before. So this is actually kind of a treat for me.
People raved about this game.
So let's see it. Let's see it in action.
The original, like, Sonic
We gotta play this
mascot
game. We'll put this on tripod and play it for a little bit.
I don't know if you did that with Master System games. You might have just
But
broken
it's a
it.
cartridge. I think you're supposed to do with all of them. You gotta turn it on and off.
So,
Or turn off the power and turn on the power base.
what do you turn off the power? There's a pause button and then a reset
right
button.
here. Power.
Oh, okay.
That was an awful noise. Oh!
Let's jump into it.
I'm gonna pull the trigger one up. Alright, Alex. This will be the first time I've ever played a Sega Master System. I'm really excited. So start is also the one button.
Right. You'll just be the only thing you'll be disappointed in is the jump button. Locale.
Oh, he's eating the rice things. It's definitely a Japanese thing. Oh god.
Yeah, the jump button's just in a disappoint. I wish it was the other button. You're just gonna give yourself a seizure. Me too. You look like a 95-year-old crime fighter.